which will then be followed by a Holy Quran recital by Ali Al-Numani.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء والله عزيز عليم.
This evening we are very honoured to have in our presence the chairman of IPE, Mr. Suleiman Rashid Al-Shaheen. If you would please come to the podium. Thank you very much.
بسم الله والحمد لله. السادة أولياء الأمور، الأساتذة الكرام، وبالضبط أبنائنا من طالبات وطلاب، يسعدني أن أرحب بكم جميعا في هذا المساء. ففي هذا اليوم تجمعني وإياكم مشاعر مشتركة، فهو يوم يمكنني أن أعتز به كرئيس لمجلس إدارة مؤسسة التعليم الأهلي IPE، كما أنه مصدر فخر ورضا لكم كأولياء أمور تشهدون أبنائكم وقد حصلوا على المهارات العلمية التي تعينهم على تغيير عالمهم إلى الأفضل. ولعلكم تتفقون معي على أن لهذه المؤسسة رؤية ورسالة وإبداع، ولا شك أنه يسعدنا أن نكون من بين أكبر المجموعات التعليمية في الكويت المعترف لها بمستواها الراقي، باعتبار أنها تفتح المجال واسعا أمام طلبتها لتحقيق ذاتها، لأنها المؤسسة التي تعتني بالطلبة كأفراد بنفس القدر الذي تهدف فيه إلى تحقيق التميز في ذاته والنتيجة النهائية المتفوقة في امتحاناتهم هي المقياس في ذلك. فالطلبة في هذه المؤسسة يتمتعون بالفصول الدراسية الواسعة والأجهزة العلمية المتقدمة، فضلاً عن وسائل الترفيه الرياضية المعتمدة. كما تؤمن المؤسسة بأهمية دور وسائل الألعاب في حياة الأطفال، واستجابة لذلك فقد وفرت لهم الأفضل في هذا المجال، فضلاً عن التحديث الشامل هذا العام بوسائل النقل بأفضلها راحة وسلامة لأبنائهم. كما حرصت المؤسسة على تنمية القيم الحضارية السليمة للمجتمع الكويتي في نفوس أبنائه، لأنهم هم المستقبل، وأنه يشرفنا أن أكون عضواً في هذه المؤسسة كما أنتم التي تسهم في تنمية وتنشئة دين المستقبل. وكما نقول لا يكفي أن نزرع الشجرة، بل نحرص على كيفية تعهدها بالعناية والرعاية حتى تستقيم وتقوى على مواجهة العاصفة في الوقت الذي تمنحنا ثمرتها. مثل حرصنا على تعليم وتثقيف طلبتنا بعناية ورعاية خاصة دون إهمال كونهم فرد في هذا المجال. ونحن على يقين بإذن الله بأن أبناءنا الكويتيين متمكنون من أنفسهم في خدمة مجتمعهم ومحيطهم، وسيظل ولاءهم العاطفي دوما معنا في هذه المؤسسة عندما يحققون أحلامهم في حياتهم العملية. أبنائنا وبناتنا الأعزاء، وأنويكم في هذه المناسبة المهمة في حياتكم، وهي منطلق لمرحلة أخرى في ميادين العلم التي لا تحتضر ولا تقف عند سنوات معينة، وسلاحكم في ذلك هذه القاعدة التأسيسية الجيدة وطموحكم نحو تحقيق المستقبل الأفضل. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقكم ويهديكم إلى سواء السبيل، مع أطيب التمنيات لكم بالنجاح والسعادة والتفوق. شكرا لأبنائنا وشكرا لأولياء الأمور وشكرا للأسرة التعليمية، فبكم ومعكم يتحقق النجاح المأمول. شكرا. I would like to welcome all of you, parents, teaching colleagues, and of course, especially our students here this evening. This is a very proud day for me as chairman of IPE, and certainly for you, our parents. The students before you are on the springboard of life. There is such potential here. Each student has been provided with the skills to change the world for the better. IPE is an institution that has vision. We have the mission and we have the aspiration. Parents have recognized this and consequently IPE, one of the largest group of schools in Kuwait, recognized for high standards and for giving students the opportunity to fulfill their potential. How is this achieved? IPE cares about the individual. It is an institute which prides itself on aiming for excellence and for bringing the best out of all our students. Our excellent examinations results and students' smiling faces in the school are testimony to this. Students at IPE schools enjoy excellent facilities, spacious classrooms, numerous well-equipped computer and science labs, large gymnasiums, swimming pools. We supply the very best. IPE believes that surroundings play an important part in a child's attitude to learning, and therefore we are continually upgrading facilities. This year we have made a major investment in a new fleet of buses so that our students are transported to and from school safely and comfortably. All our schools adhere to Kuwaiti values and cultural standards. Our kids are our future, and for me, I feel it is an honor to be a part of this organization, which is shaping the future for generations to come. When a tree is planted, it needs careful attention. It needs good soil. It needs water. If the soil is enriched, the tree will grow strong and tall with sturdy roots to hold the tree firm in the midst of storms. Similarly, our students are carefully educated. High expectations are fulfilled because of good teaching methods and awareness of the individual within the group. Discipline is important, although at times painful. This is the pruning. When storms arrive in their life, as is inevitable, they will have the strength of character to rise above the circumstances. Their roots developed in our schools will enable them to weather any storm. When the students leave our schools, I can proudly say they are in a position to enrich the community of Kuwait and the world around them. They will bear fruit in whatever profession they follow, and we look forward to having the seeds of that fruit at IPE again in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, students, congratulations on this August occasion. This is a very special day in your life. A new chapter in your life is beginning. Remember, your education is ongoing no matter what age. Education is lifelong learning, and we hope we have given you a thirst to continue learning as your career develops. You have been given the tools to help you make better decisions and to give you a better life now. Go out and use them wisely. I pray that Allah will help you use the gifts He has given you wisely to make the world a better place. I wish you success and much happiness. Thank you, students, parents, and teachers all for your support during this scholastic year. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sulaiman Majid Al-Shaheen. Okay, and now to a lady who really doesn't need an introduction, but I'll give one anyway. Madam Rashid, if you could now please come and give us your address. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وبعد. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our annual Speech Day celebration for the year 2003-2004. Hello, young men and women. I see you are very occupied. I need you to pay more attention to me now, all right? And God, don't you look smart? As you were coming down the long catwalk up to your seats, I saw the smiles and the happy looks on your parents' faces, and I was very happy to have had a role in creating these smiles on their faces, because we do get our energy for the future from these smiles. because we know that we at the Gulf English School, with your help and support and the hard work of these young men and women, have, inshallah, accomplished one large area of our mission. 2 days ago, Mr. Brian Smith asked me if I had done my homework and finished writing my speech for today. I answered, yes, I did with a big relief. I did my homework. Then I think to myself, God, does the time fly by or what? As if it has been only a couple of months since I stood here to congratulate a different group of students on another different speech day. Yes, time does fly by. But boys and girls, are you ready for the future? I heard some yeses. Did you plan for your personal success? Maybe yes or maybe no. Well, let me tell you something, dear students. In Islam, we repeat this verse from the Holy Quran. To God we belong, and to Him is our return. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. This verse beautifully answers to the question, what is the meaning of life? The verse gives a meaning to our day-to-day existence in this world, and thus simultaneously gives us direction, comfort, solace, anticipation, hope, courage, and fear. However, life is such that we usually get into our daily routines fairly quickly, and it is seldom that we take the time to ponder about our existence or about life in this world. We take life as it comes. Maybe we at some stage of our life have set many goals for ourselves. We call them New Year resolutions. We write them because we have a feeling that we are lacking in some area of our life that we know we should change. For example, we set a goal to lose weight, and oh God, how many times did I set that goal? And Dr. Ibrahim too. Or maybe we set our goals to earn more money, or to study harder and get A stars, or to stop smoking, etc., etc. Then, when we find that soon after making these promises to ourselves, we either forget about these goals, or we find that we simply do not have the time to carry them out, or sometimes we simply forget. Another year passes, and history repeats itself, and at the start of another year, we do the same thing over and over again. How many of us really accomplish our goals? How many of us really take the time to plan our goals? How many of us really know which goals are important? There are times for most of us when we feel we are drowning in the demands made on us. These demands come from our immediate environment, but they also come from within us. We want to prosper, and we want to lead a fulfilling life. And only by setting goals, we have a direction, a meaning, and a purpose to our life. You need to take the necessary steps and tools to get to your goals and learn how to produce excellence. You must create realistic, viable plans to achieve those goals. Follow your plan, be flexible, and enjoy the process. Dear young men and women, I want to tell you a story today, and I need your full attention, and I hope you like stories. Once upon a time, there was a bunch of baby frogs. Now listen, this is not a funny part. on yelling, "It's too difficult, nobody's going to make it." More baby frogs became tired and gave up, but one kept going higher and higher. He was not giving up. At the end, everybody had given up except one determined to reach the top. All the other participants naturally wanted to know how he had managed to do what none of the others had been able to do. One competitor asked the winner, what was his secret? Do you know the secrets, boys and girls? No? Not one idea? Let me tell you what happened. The truth was, the winner was deaf. He could not hear anything. Maybe some of you heard the story before, but the lesson to be learned is, listen carefully, don't ever listen to people who are negative and pessimistic. They will deprive you of your loveliest dreams and wishes you carry in your heart. Always be aware of the power of words, as everything you hear and read will interfere with your actions. Therefore, always be positive, and most of all, turn a deaf ear when people tell you that you cannot achieve your dreams. Abraham Lincoln once said, quote, "You can have anything you want if you want it bad enough. You can be anything you want to be. Do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold it to that desire, if you hold that desire with singleness of purpose." Unquote. What a beautiful saying. Dear students of the Gulf English School, aim for the stars. Set yourself stretch goals and targets. Value your life and always be optimistic and confident. Take good care of the 3 P's. And these 3 P's are patience, persistence, and perseverance. Break the habit of seeing things with an attitude of defeat and retrain yourself to see things with an attitude of victory. Ladies and gentlemen, since we are talking about aiming high and achievements, let me take you through some of our highlights of this year at the Gulf English School. We are very proud of the successful shows we had during this year. The 2 colorful productions, The Pied Piper and Bugsy Malone. The Year 1 International Concert. The Year 2 Musical Events. Whole School Musical Concert. This was a delightful evening where our students were able to display their musical abilities. Our thanks go to our dedicated music staff, directors and producers. Also to all our staff who contribute one way or another to make these events so enjoyable for parents and participants. As for the sports, our sports teams continue to excel. We have been very successful in our participation of KIFSAC. In primary, we have won the girls, Unihawk, boys soccer, boys 5A-side, and junior rounders. And as for secondary teams, they have won all but one of the football competitions. Dear guests, one area that we are so proud at the Gulf English School to mention is our academic achievement. In the primary department, last year's SATS results saw our children in Key Stage 1 doing better than their UK counterparts. In Key Stage 2, our results in maths and science were well above the UK averages. Excellent results when you consider that almost all of our children are second language learners and the difficult situation we all went through last year in the build-up to the war. The primary school curriculum is constantly under review. This year has been a year of consolidation of the introduction of the foundation stage curriculum in KG and reception. We have set up garden plots for the children and made considerable investment in books and equipment so that they have the best possible start to their education. Teachers have been working on assessment methods for maths with the aim of developing a target setting system for math just as we have for writing. We intend to make parents more aware of how they can help their children to progress. We are steadily improving the primary website to give children and parents a wide range of information on what is available on the web to help with their children's studies. As for the secondary department, last summer our students taking A-levels achieved 100% pass rate in the 11 different subjects taken. AS students out of the 10 subjects taken achieved 88% pass rate overall and 100% pass rate in 5 of those subjects. I would like to thank the dedicated teachers across the school that made these results possible, and also to you students for taking advantage of the unique opportunity which studying at the Gulf English School offers every student. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost there at the end of my speech, but it is going to be a sad end, because I do not like farewells, but it is my sad duty to announce that our head of secondary school, Mr. Brian Smith, and his wife, Anne Downey, will be leaving us at the end of this year. They have been dedicated to the school since 1991. Many changes have been made, and they have always ensured that the standard at Gulf English School continued to rise. Since I have joined the IPE, I have noticed how students and parents fight to get their children to be in their science classes because they know that they are the best. Mr. Brian was a deputy and then the head, and still students were very lucky to get into his physics class and lucky to get into Anne Downey's biology class, even after she was the deputy head and examinations officer. And by the way, Anne has been an examinations officer extraordinary and can now spot a mobile phone in a pocket from an amazing distance. Mr. Brian has a well-developed sense of humor that we will all miss. He has been an outstanding head and always has had the best interest of our students at heart, even if it means hiding in the hedge or bus shelter to catch any wayward students wishing to skip school. I am sure the students will agree with me that it is very hard to get one over Mr. Brian Smith, yes? Yes. Mr. Smith and Miss Anne intend to retire to Turkey for a while and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. I am sure Anne is looking forward to working on her garden, and Brian will be at her side, either building a boat or out on the lake, sailing or catching the sun. As they are both scientists, I am sure their house will be very eco-friendly and full of the latest which science can provide. Well, we would all like to wish you Mr. Smith, will miss you. Will miss your daily visits to my office, where we chat and sometimes we disagree. But no matter what, Mr. Brian, there's going to be a special spot in my heart for you and for your wife, Anne. And please keep in touch. And I'd like to ask Miss Anne and Brian and Dr. Brahim to come here, because we want to present you with a little something from the Gulf English School to show our appreciation.
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Brian. Can you take photo? Okay. مدام رجاء تفضلي معهم تفضلي. Okay.
Your wife, I hate turtles. You think that I'll let you go? No way. I have only two things to announce to you. Tonight, I would like to congratulate an outstanding student in year 8K, who was the one and only student among the different private schools in Kuwait to win in the Robots Center under the sponsorship of the Ministry of Education. He has a very active role in the center. He passed all the examination and the assessment that they gave him, and did all the projects in how to create a robot using the computer. He is going to participate in a worldwide competition under the name of MILSAT. It is a worldwide organization or an institution for scientific centers. He will be going to France to represent Kuwait. Please welcome and let's congratulate our boy Salim Hussein Al-Idan. I said two announcements. Now this is one. The last one I think it will make some parents very happy. Now for the past years, we have been giving a scholarship to students in grade 6 going to grade 7. And there were only 5 students who got the highest grades. This is good news, and thank you to Dr. Brahim today. He made me very happy when he told me that next year we are going to increase the number from 5 students to 10 students. Yes. And also we give the 2 scholarships for students from the IGCSE going to the AS level or A level. Now we are going to increase that number also. Instead of 2, we are going to give 5 students next year. of school, and bless you all, and enjoy the night, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Madam Raja. Excuse me while I move the step. Okay, we now have a musical interlude. We have a GES choir, and we have a few musical items which I will explain. The music this evening reflects two important ideas, personal aspiration and one, unity. In one of the songs, a variety of languages are used, which reflects the diversity of the students found at GES. The first song, which I remember going many, many years back, I think many of the old ones in the audience will actually recognise the song, is Fame. It's energetic and describes students' aspirations to be successful in the world. We'll hear Mikhail Taylor sing Dreams in Bulgarian. And finally, we'll have a new number called Let's Make the World Come Together, which was written by Ian Johnson, who is our teacher of secondary music, and he wrote it for a musical which was premiered in 2002. But something special for this evening. One of the verses has been translated by Ramia Baki, who I think is in our year 11, and it has been translated into Arabic. So please, GES Choir.
تعبيرا عن إحساسنا وزملاء الخريجين هي أبيات من الشعر والجملة غزلت معكم. اليوم من الأيام في قلوبنا متشرق وعال، يوم أن الوجيه الكريمة بحورها نورتنا، والقصيدة ما هي على لسان الحال، على لسان كل الطلاب يوم العبر خلقتنا، على الأيام اللي مرت والدمع لها منهال، وفيها يوم لعبنا، وفيها يوم درسنا، ويوم أهملنا دراستنا، ويوم ضحكنا وما كان الزعل أبدا على البال، والشكر ذيك الأيام كانها علمتنا. علمتنا الصبر واللعب والبعد والغباء، وكم سالتهم بالضحك والعلم جدنا، وكم استاذهم من ضيمنا غاية الأهوال. وكان اليوم بهالتخرج تفرقنا، وغدت ذيك الأيام وذيك الليالي، أقول ما عشنا فرقنا ومحنا علينا الليلة من الليالي. ما نعدها إلا رجل الأم والأبو وأفضلها مفرقتنا. الأم ويكفي إنها أم وفضلها عال، أم ولم لنا الموطن وهي جرتنا، وكل أحاسيسها لنا مثل جفوف الشلال، وياما سهرت الليل وبحنانها حسستنا، وياما ضحت بالكثير لأجل إحلال. والأبو ساس العزة، ومنه بنينا هيبتنا، وما تتقصر ولو بنصيحة تشفالي، وهم اللي تربيتهم نقتنا وصفتنا، ولولا هالاثنين ما وصلت الموصل للحال. وكان بحاول ارد دائما للايام صفتنا، بوقف القصيده وكلمات وبلبس العقال واقول يا مرحبا فيكم تخرجون، يا مرحبا بهم، ما يا مرحبا باللي منهم بنيتها مالي، يا مرحبا باللي تربيتهم صفتنا، يا مرحبا بامي غالي وابوي غالي. وما ننكر فضل المدرسين وعلومهم ومنفعتنا، كلهم بزينهم وبشينهم وصلونا للعالم، ونعتذر ان كان زلت عليهم يوم سنتنا، وترانا لولا فضلهم ما وصلنا للعالم. وبشكر ناس وجهودهم قدرتنا، كل اللي بالخليج صغيرهم اللي العالم، واشكرهم من القلب على حسن ضيافتنا، ضيافتنا بالعلوم والنصائح والفكر والدلال. وبشكر الخليج يومها جمعتنا مع ربع مخلصهم، هو اللي بقال هي اللي بعضنا حببتنا، يا الله لا تقطع بين الربع والصال، يا الله وفقنا بعمار ديارتنا. الكويت هي الام والاصل والوالد، يا الله خلينا كلنا نوحد كلمتنا، بعلي يا كويت ولاد الجهال، بيدنا نعليك يا حلم وكلنا ثمتنا، وان شاء الله بدينا درب العلم وبتقل الاهوال، والكويت العزها والحبها خرجتنا، وباذن العزيز ما خرج كويتنا الوالي، وبالكويت تكبر وتعلى محبتنا. والقصيده ما هي على لسان الحال، على لسان كل الطلاب يوم العرض خلقتنا. ويا الخليج يا الخليج ما ننساش، تراك دوم على بالي، وبقول يا مرحبا بكم يوم تخرجنا. شكرا.
Okay, we now come on to the final speech for this section. Okay, Mr. Smith, if you would like to come and give your final address.
Thank you, distinguished guests, parents, students, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to welcome you here tonight on behalf of the Secondary Department of the Gulf English School. This is an occasion that always gives me great pleasure. It is a pleasure to be in the presence of honoured guests, teaching colleagues and the Gulf English School team. It is a pleasure to see our students at the closing moments of their school career and at the dawn of the next stage of their lives. I won't keep you long. I know that in particular the students have had to listen to me on too many occasions in assemblies, because at least in assembly they have the benefit of missing double visits. I was reflecting over the weekend after the wonderful international evening that we held at the school last week, that over the years there have been many changes in students and student attitudes. as well as changes within the school in general. The International Day is organised by students. The students decide which country that they will represent. They decide how they will display the information. They decide what kind of food they'll provide. Perhaps that's sometimes the most important decision that they're making. And they decide how the people of the country would perform on stage, and many other things. A teacher is there to advise, but really the students make the decisions themselves. Years ago, it was invariably the case that students represented their own country. Kuwaitis represented Kuwait, Jordanians represented Jordan, Egyptians represented Egypt. This year, there was no Egypt, there was no Jordan, there was no Lebanon, no Syria. The best performance was India, led by an Iraqi and a Kuwaiti. The best school was Tanzania, which is one of the few countries which we don't actually have a student of in our school. Students are realising that it's fun to learn more about different cultures, to download information from the internet, and to look at the world through different eyes. We are creating students who have a thirst for knowledge. Students who are, above all, capable of finding the answers for themselves. Gone are the days when the teacher was the source of all knowledge and simply passed on his or her own knowledge to the students. What we are doing is developing in our students the desire to learn, the ability to acquire information, the power to analyse, criticise, and finally retain that which is of use and to discard the rest. I'm sure that many of us in this room have been sent on training courses at some point or other in our careers. One that was very popular a few years ago was time management. How to use our time more effectively. And here is a little story. I know Madam Nigel likes stories. So here is a little story that I read recently on the internet. One day, an expert in time management was speaking to a group of business studies students. And to drive home the point, he gave an illustration. It was an illustration that the students will never forget. As he stood in front of these high-powered students, he said, "Okay, time for a quiz." And he pulled out a large, wide-mouthed glass jar. And he put it on the table in front of him. And he took out about a dozen fist-sized stones. And he put them one at a time into the jar. When the jar was filled to the top, he said to the students, "Is it full yet?" Everybody in the class said, "Yes." The time management expert said, "Oh, really?" And he reached down and he picked up some small stones, some gravel, and he put this into the jar. He shook the jar, and of course the gravel filled the stones, the small spaces left by the big stones. He then looked at the students and said, "Is the jar full?" Well, by this time they realised they weren't going to say yes. So they said, "No, probably not." "Good," he replied. He reached down and he took a bucket of sand. And he then put the sand into the jar, which filled the small spaces between the big rocks and the small stones. He looked at the class, he said, "Is it full yet?" They said no. They were frightened by this time to say anything. So he reached down, he picked up a bucket of water, and he poured the water into the jar, and it filled the jar so far to the brim that there wasn't even room for a baby frog. And he said, this time he said, "Tell me, is there anyone who can tell me what this story is meant to illustrate?" And one of the students said yes. The point is that no matter how full your schedule is, if you really try hard, you can fit more things into it. No, the speaker said, that's not the point. The truth that this illustration teaches us is that if you don't put in the big stones first, you'll never get them in. So the students here have to decide what are the big stones in their lives. Is it time with your loved ones? Is it your religion perhaps? Your family? Your education? Your dreams? A worthy cause? Teaching or mentoring others? What you have to remember is to put the big stones in first. Otherwise, you'll never get them in at all. So tonight, or maybe in the morning, when you're reflecting on this evening, then please ask yourself this question. What are the big stones in my life? What are the things which are important to me? One big stone that you need to weigh is what you are about. You're reaching the age when you should be able to decide the values that you hold true. Who you want to be, how you want to be seen by other people, how you would like to be remembered, what traits about your character do you want to be proud of, what traits about your character do you want your children to be proud of. Because you own everything about you. You own your body and everything it does. You own your mind, including all of your thoughts and all of your ideas. Your eyes, including all the images that they behold. Your feelings, whatever they might be. Feelings of anger, feelings of joy, frustration, love, disappointment, excitement. You own your mouth and all of the words that come out of it. Polite words, sweet words, and the other words. Correct words and incorrect words. You own your voice when it's loud and when it is soft. All of your actions, whether they be to others or yourself. You are responsible for your fantasies, for your dreams, for your hopes, for your fears. You own your own triumphs and successes. You also own your own failures and mistakes. You can see, hear, feel, think, say, and do. You have the tools to survive, to be close to others, and to be productive. Well, now that we know that you're responsible, I want you to think about this for a while. When you have realized your future potential, when you are all successful captains of industry, successful businessmen, successful businesswomen, and maybe even a politician, please remember to treat people with humility and honesty. Do not sell yourselves. Do not sell your reputations. Do not sell your integrity or your faith in order to make a few more dinars for yourself, a few more dollars for yourself or the company you work for. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of this life, you have only your reputation and your family that's worth leaving behind. God gives you the wind, but you must lift up the sails. I would like to thank all of the parents who have supported the school over the years. I'd like to thank the chairman, I'd like to thank Dr. Ibrahim, Madam Raja, my teaching colleagues across the school, Miss Raper for her advice and support, Mrs. Talbot, Miss Downey for their invaluable help, advice and hard work. But of course, a school would never be successful without a good backstage crew. We're very fortunate at the Gulf English School to have a good, successful, hard-working team of secretaries, office staff, lab technicians, school doctor, reprographics, store managers, account staff, ancillary workers and maids. All of these people work so hard to make the Gulf English School the jewel of IPE. Thank you all. Thank you. I'd like to ask Mr. Lambert to come on stage and say a few words as the head of Sixth Hall. Thank you.
questions to Smith. Good evening, honoured guests. Let me begin by asking you a question. What is greater than God, more evil than the devil, wanted by the rich man, owned by the poor man, and if you eat it, you will die? This is one of those abstract questions asked of students wishing to enter an Ivy League university in the United States. The answer to this question cannot be taught, but hopefully, by the end of the sixth form, some students will have developed the ability to think laterally and work it out for themselves. For students in the sixth form, there is often an uneasy balance between the expected freedoms associated with being the eldest students in the school and still having the discipline to complete the increased workload of AS and A-levels. However, every year, the number of students achieving this task increases with the Gulf New School. It seems such a short time since many of us attended the graduation last year. I'm sure you have often thought that time passes more quickly the older you become. Possibly this is because as you get older, you spend more time reminiscing about the past. Only a few days ago, a student in Year 11 said that his time at GES had passed almost as quickly as he could snap his fingers. I had to agree. This took me back to the time I taught him in Year 7. Out of interest, I looked at the student numbers in the sixth form at that time. There were in fact only 29 students in 1999, whilst in 2003 there are 122. We mustn't forget that it is only recently that students have been required to complete 11 years of education before entering university, and that AS and A-levels have become a more common entry qualification. In the past, the majority of students at GES left school at the end of Year 10 to enter university having just completed their IGCSEs. It is inevitable, therefore, that with the emphasis placed by staff and school management upon the importance of AS and A-levels and the university requirement of Year 11, the sixth form should have grown so significantly. I remember many students and parents voicing their concern when the new entry requirements for Kuwait University were announced. They felt it was a disadvantage to stay on in Year 11, but I feel that opinion is gradually changing from resistance to acceptance. Whatever the motives for change, our students have only benefited. Here are a couple of examples. Where else in Kuwait would you find a student leaving Year 11 with 7 IGCSEs, 4 AS levels and 1 A-level, or with 8 IGCSEs, 6 at A-star and 5 AS levels, all at grade A? Whilst these results are exceptional, they are not so unusual at GES. There has been a gradual realisation amongst students and parents that one is far better prepared for higher education if you have experienced the more independent style of learning promoted in the sixth form. As a result, our students are more able to realise their academic potential whilst at school, enabling a more informed choice of course at university because they are more mature and better educated. The importance of education and learning cannot be overemphasised, and the presence of you, the parents, and your children is testimony to this fact. As the Prophet Muhammad said in the Hadith Sharif, Na'an al-Mani arfan kuntu lahu abdan, which translated means, I am a slave to thee who taught me a letter. We all owe a debt to our teachers, whether we appreciate their value at the time or not. But ultimately, we owe it to ourselves to make the best of our time on this earth. This life is a real thing and not a rehearsal. So I encourage all students graduating today to work hard on whatever they choose to do in the future, whether it is university or work. And the answer to the initial question is nothing. Nothing is greater than God. Nothing is more evil than the devil. The rich man wants for nothing. The poor man has nothing. And if you eat nothing, you will die. Good luck. I would now like to invite to the stage Mr. Sulaiman Majid Al-Shaheen, Chairman of IPE, Madam Raj Al-Salah, Director of Educational Services, Dr. Ibrahim Al-Khalefi, Chief Executive Officer of IPE, and Mr. Brian Smith, Secondary Head Teacher of the Gulf New School, to present the graduated class of 2004 with their certificates and prizes. Thank you very much.
Would the first row please stand? IGCSE Business Studies Attainment Prize, Abdul Wahab Al-Sawi. Abdul Wahab Al-Isa. Abdullah Anus. Abdullah Diab. Abdullah Ibrahim. Abdullah Al-Abbas. Abdullah Al-Shafi. Abdullah Al-Saidi. Abdul Wahab Al-Najjar.
خالد شوية شوية تطلع
أبرار كرام. Physical Education Effort Prize, Adel Saraj. Afra Al-Awadi. Ahmed Shaheen.
يلا شوفون خلي طالع سوري
Ahmed Ali. Ahmed Rahman.
Zamzam. Ahmed Abdallah. Ali Bahman. Ministry of Religion Edward Prize, Ali Al-Mani. Amani Abdul Rahman. Amr Mujib.
Wait. Yeah, okay.
Arish Al-Shati.
طالعين.
A-Level Chemistry Effort Prize, Asma Morsi. Ayman Mahmood.
طالعين ايمن طالعين. انت الحظ
First row, please sit down. Second row, please stand.
تطلع قدام.
Badr Al-Wahab. IGCSE Art and Design Effort Prize, Badr Yusuf. Basant Al-Nasri. IGCSE Business Studies Effort Prize, Bedur Karam. Iman Rafa.
Wait.
Isa Al-Yusufi. Fahad Kaitan.
بيتعشوا.
Fatma Al-Haji. Hadir Karam. IGCSE Business Effort Prize, Hadir Al-Bibli. Heba Al-Amin. GES Chemistry Effort Prize, Hisham Shahata. Isra Fahmy. Jara Al-Tibi. Jassim Al-Awani.
طالعنا
Jasser Al-Sawi.
طالعنا حساب
ESL Biology Enterprise, Shawan Al-Shams.
طالعنا طالع
AS Level Computer Studies Attainment Prize, AS Physics Attainment Prize, Karim Sabur. Khaled Al-Masri. Khaled Al-Bandi. Khaled Al-Anshi.
لك حالك
Maha Al-Talib.
طالعنا
تعال سلمي عليه مالهاش دعوة.
Magun Umar. Mohammed Asiri. The second row, please sit down. And the third row, please stand. Mohammed Al-Waziri. Minister of Religion Attainment Prize, Mohammed Al-Waziri.
طالعنا حبيبي
IGCSE Arabic Effort Prize, Mohammed Samoui. Mohammed Al-Abdallah.
طالعنا محمد
Mohammed Al-Jabi.
اوكي انا معك خلاص
Mohammed Hussein. Mohammed Molan.
طلعنا قطرة
عشان ابين وجهك.
Mohammed Al-Bari. Mohsen Azur. IGCSE Information Technology Attainment Prize, Mustafa Shakib.
طلعنا أسامة
IGCSE English Effort Prize, IGCSE Chemistry Effort Prize, IGCSE Physics Attainment Prize,
يلا تعال
Nashra Aryan.
بابا طلعينا بابا طلعينا.
صفاء أعطينا أفلام خلي صفاء أعطينا أفلام
خليك طالع.
خالد
Nizar Safa.
طلعنا
Nur Al-Mani. Nur Al-Hassan.
طلعنا نور طالعين هني بعد سلمي طالعين ايوه
Nur Al-Madi. ASL Physics Effort Prize, Nura Al-Majid.
طالعين
ASL Accounting Attainment Prize, Omar Abu Omar.
طالعنا ايه كده افلام
لو سمحت.
Saba Al-Nashri.
سامة طالعنا ايوه
Rami Farid.
لو سمحت.
ايوه
Rawan Al-Shanti.
روان طالعنا ايوه
A-Level Arabic Effort Prize, Rita Amala. Ruqayya Hamid.
طالعنا بالكيف
With the third row, please sit down. And the fourth row, please stand.
تضربش
AS Level Mathematics Effort Prize, Ministry Arabic Attainment Prize, Safar Al-Shari.
طالعين صفا صفا كلها
Samir Mohammed.
سامر شيء سامر يا
Sami Alam.
ايوه اوكي
ما تبيها؟
Sandra Hamchawi.
ساندرا
Salam Sagar. Sarah Bentani.
سارة طالعين ايوه ماشي
Sarah Al-Kandari.
طالعين سارة طالعين اوكي
Sarah Kaga. Sarah Al-Kandari.
طالعين سارة ايوه
AS Level Business Studies Effort Prize, Shahid Baraki. Sharif Awad.
مستعجل
Sharif Abdul Halim.
شريف
Shujun Mohammed.
طالعين ايوه
Sharif Al-Wardani.
طالعين شريف اوكي
Talal Fahmi.
طالعين صباح
IGCS Business Studies Effort Prize, Tarek Abdul Hadi.
طالعين اوكي نايس
AS Level Mathematics Attainment Prize, AS Level Biology Attainment Prize, AS Level Chemistry Attainment Prize, Arabic IGCSE Attainment Prize, Yahya Akbar. IGCSE Art and Design Effort Prize, Yusra Akbar.
ايوه
Yusuf Isa.
Good. والله مهلا.
English Attainment Prize, IGCSE Mathematics Effort Prize, IGCSE Geography Effort Prize, IGCSE Chemistry Attainment Prize, Yusuf Naik.
Yusuf, please wait.
IGCSE Art and Design Attainment Prize, Yosra Al-Dawi.
Yusra, please. Wait.
IGCSE Literature Effort Prize, IGCSE Art and Design Attainment Prize, Zahra Al-Talib.
طالعين.
Zachariah Islam. On the following page of the program is a list of Year 12 A-level prize winners. On behalf of Year 12 students, I would like to ask the head boy to accept his own prizes for A-level Chemistry Attainment, A-level Biology Attainment, Haitham Mohsen.
Yeah, let's just wait. One more.
Okay.
In the fourth row, please sit down.
And I think it's the first time ever in Kuwait when a student in Year 10 has achieved 8 A-star grades at IGCSEs. So we really have no choice but to award this prize, and I'm delighted to award this prize to Kareem Sabour. The Council of International Schools International Student Award. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هذه الجائزة هي جائزة دولية تعطى باسم مجلس المدارس العالمية لطالب يكون متميزا في جانب ما. فهي هذا العام لطالب روشان جاكو. This award is presented to Roshan Jaco. International Schools International Student Award, and it's been given to him in recognition of his contribution to the development and advancement of the internationalism in Kuwait. Roshan Jaco.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow students and respected teachers. It has always been my dream to become the Student of the Year. After years of performing at every graduation ceremony since year 6, listening to students giving their own speeches made me want to stand up here at this very podium to give one myself. This speech is one of thanks. I thank you to all the people who stood by me, who support, encourage, and shower me with love, even though it may not have been obvious at times. I thank God Almighty for the opportunity He's given me, a loving family, wonderful friends, and a wonderful school. The day I first entered GES is still a vivid picture in my mind. My hand in my father's, with him leading the way proudly to Miss Raper's office, as if he were entrusting one of his treasures into the care of another person, to continue what he and my mother set out to do, get a better education for me. A new world dawned upon me. My new teachers' welcoming smile and new girls and boys tell me stories about their holidays. GES became a new home to me. In fact, it became a second home to me. My transition to secondary school not only meant a change from the standard Hardee's cheese sandwich to the chicken fillets, but that we became big boys and girls. Parading the school grounds in our smart uniforms with ties done up and buttons fastened, getting to class hurriedly, making sure not to miss the first lessons. It made us feel proud of ourselves. Transition to secondary school meant new friends, new activities, and even more work. Two teachers who I'm extremely grateful to have met are Mr. Olsen and Mr. Flemings. They were great friends. Over the years, I got involved in debate teams, MUN, working with the sound team, band, and helped organize events. All this opened doors for me to meet new people and learn more about others. Representing GES in different schools and winning debates were some of the most joyous events of my life. I will miss my final year, despite being problematic at times. However, I am glad to say that my time in GES was well spent, one in which I met new people, made lifelong friendships, and discovered many hidden talents. As I sat down to write this speech a week ago, it made me realize that there were a lot of people who stood behind me, each of them contributed what they had to offer, like a jigsaw puzzle, to allow me to receive this award. A recent example is International Evening. Massive amounts of effort was put into the event by participants, SRC members and teachers. In the end, International Evening was a success, thanks to all the people who took part. It has been said that behind every successful student, there are two parents behind him or her. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is true. I am blessed to have two special people in my life, my father and my mother. They both made sacrifices to ensure that my sister and I got the very best of educations at an English curriculum centered school. Most Indian parents send their children to Indian schools slowly. However, my mom and dad insisted I should get the very best of education, and I did, which is what I got at Gulfingers School. My father was always there whenever I needed him, listening to me and helping me with whatever problems I may have faced. He encouraged me to learn to play the saxophone and guitar, and helped me to release my first saxophone instrumental album in 2002. My mother, a patient lady, has always listened to my recollections, whether she was tired or not. She was a path under my feet, always there to help steer me in the right direction. My parents never complained. probably win the award without any hassle. I dedicate this award to my parents, to whom this award means such a lot. This is my way of saying thanks to them. Another person to whom I am very grateful is my uncle, Leo Fernandez. Thanks to him, I was able to stay after school to help out plays and games. My partner in crime, Karim Sabor, the person who I'm privileged to have as a best friend. Who made every day another reason altogether to live for. My special thanks go out to all the teachers and members of staff from KG to year 12. My math teacher, Mr. O'Brien, with his wild, wacko math theories. My biology teacher, Mr. Lambert, who treated me more as a friend. Mr. Curtin, meticulously teaching us the basics of chemistry. Mr. Owen, who helped me immensely with the sound team of physics. Ms. Jennings, her no-nonsense approach was one which was both bearable and fun at times. Mrs. Bradbury, for never refusing my request for art supplies and a quick chat. Mr. Palin, a friend who has a special talent of cheering people up. All the members of SSC, especially the Vice President, Adnan Rakawa. Ms. Talbot, the English guru. Ms. Downey, her wisdom and help with everyday school life. Mr. Smith, who has been a constant guide to me since year 7, a mentor so to speak, whose approach to problems was with humor, which I'm glad to say always worked. It was my pleasure, sir, working with you this year in sound team and Natasha Evening. I'm going to miss you a lot, sir. For her motherly support and guidance. I will never forget her moonlit smile. And last but not least, my friends. You all know who you are, and I'm really privileged to be yours. I would like to end this speech by wishing the class of 2004 every success as they embark on the special journey of life. And I look forward to meeting you in 20 years' time. Thank you, and may God bless our beloved leader, Kuwait, the class of 2004.
سكيب على شيء
يلا
صبوري والله صبوري يس صبوري.
لا الطلبة ستودنت اونلي ستودنت اونلي بسرعة ستودنت بسرعة طلاب بسرعة تفضل
معيد
يلا تعال جرب تعال
معين
يلا تعال تعال جراح قرب اوكي غطيته على مدام الرجال
رجال اعطيك كرسي ولا شيء
طلعت
رجال الله يبارك
اعطينا مكان اعطونا مجال الله يخليكم يا اخوان اعطونا مجال
اعطوه مجال اعطوه مناصب
اوكي
مبروك ان شاء الله مبروك ان شاء الله Take the sword.